Now, for those of you not too familiar with the show, Pawn Stars has been running for over a decade now, and over all of their seasons we have seen many huge deals on the show. But while most of the deals were made by one of the Harrisons, even the show's jokester has made the gold and silver pawn shop some cash with his happy-go-lucky attitude. Now, Chumlee took the viewers' hearts by storm, but he also had some pretty good negotiation skills. So let's take a look at some of the biggest Pawn Star deals that Chumlee ever made. But before we do that, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. A guy comes in to the gold and silver pawn shop with an old book about how to play different card games, and Chumlee didn't really understand why the customer was asking $1,500 for it. Fittingly enough, the seller had won the book in a poker game, and when Rebecca Romney came to appraise it, she was pretty excited. Published in 1866, this book was one of the first books on how to play poker, with the very first one being from 1858. The rare book expert said that it was worth around $2,000, and with Vegas being the perfect market for a book like this, Chum was eager to make a deal. Although he didn't meet his customer's new offer of $1,800, they eventually struck a deal at $1,375, which was actually pretty close to the seller's original offer. Now, in the show Pawn Stars, Chumlee often seems to be the scapegoat when something goes wrong at the pawn shop, especially in the earlier seasons. In one episode, he was minding the shop by himself when he was offered a Gibson Mandolin. Well, this could have been one of his biggest deals, but it unfortunately turned out that the Mandolin, an A model with the Gibson on the headstock in the old script, was one of the thousands of fakes that could be found around the US. Now, it did have the decal on the edges, and through one of the F holes, you could even see the stamp of the modern script Gibson logo. But besides that, it seemed different. Now, Chumlee still bought the Mandolin for $1,500, despite the fact that his purchase limit is $1,000, which is not unfounded. A friend and music shop owner later estimated that the Mandolin's worth was just to be $100. Chumlee is definitely often portrayed as being clueless, often breaking things, ignoring his bosses, or making terrible deals. But every once in a while, even the Pawn Stars goofball can make a good deal. When a customer brought in a pair of vintage nickel-plated Scottish pistols, asking for around $8,000 for the 175-year-old saw-handle pistol, Chumlee made the right decision by calling in an expert. Alex Cranmore confirmed that the pistols were a creation of Alexander Henry, the most famous gunmaker from the Victorian era. Alex estimated that the pistols could bring in around $5,000 to $6,000 at an auction, so the owner lowered his initial asking price to $4,200. Now, Chumlee eventually got his customer to agree to a price of $3,300, sealing one of the best deals in Chumlee's career. Dating back to season 4, Corey and Chumlee met a guy to look at a 1986 Buick Regal. Chumlee immediately fell in love with the car, prompting Corey to remind him that you're supposed to pretend like you don't like it when you're buying it. Now, Big Hoss was not impressed by all the stuff the owner had done to the Buick and wasn't willing to pay more than $1,500 for it, $1,000 less than the seller Nadir was looking to get. While Corey was ready to go and walk away, Chumlee and Nadir agreed on the deal at $2,000, and the Pawn Stars fan favorite then took the Buick to Danny, the Count Coker, to get some custom work done. The other three Pawn Stars weren't very impressed when Chumlee and Danny presented the car when it was done, as there were no visible changes, until Chumlee got in the car and demonstrated the newly installed hydraulic system that allows the driver to bounce around in the car. While Corey and Rick couldn't stop laughing, the old man simply stated that it was the most stupidest thing he's ever seen in his life, and he got into the car to have Chumlee give him a ride home and couldn't do anything about himself being bounced around. And that'll wrap up today's video about big scores made by Chumlee on the Pawn Stars. Hope you enjoyed the video, man. Leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you are a new viewer. And we hope to keep getting your continued support. And we will see you in future videos.